Greetings, folks. I figured since COVID's been raging across our country that I would start getting a little more graphic and into my videos. During the past, I just pretty much did it for my own use. I would tape stuff just so I could hear it and play back and see what's going on. And, check out the drum sound and the cymbal sounds. And what I was finding was that I was buying a lot of gear, a lot of cymbals, a lot of drums, and watching videos to get an idea of what cymbals sounded like or what drums sounded like. And when I'd get them home, I would find that they didn't sound as good as I thought they would, because you can't trust videos. You really can't. There's a couple things to take into consideration, especially with cymbals. You usually see a lot of these videos are using pro stuff, the top of the line microphones, all kinds of gear. And what I'm using is just all primitive, just old cheap drum mics going into a Tascam tape deck that's probably 20 years old now. So, you take that in consideration, your sound. So that's right off the bat one of the most important things. Then the second thing is the touch, the actual touch, the way you hit the cymbal. Now, I've always thought back in the day, you want your cymbals to last, so you buy heavy ones, thick ones, because you couldn't crack them so easy. But even that thought, through the years became pretty obsolete, because I started gravitating toward more thinner cymbals because I was digging the sound of that. So anyway, the touch is one thing, the drumstick especially is another thing. And this new ride I got, it's a 24-inch A, and I'm still wondering if I'm going to keep it or not, because I take in all these things into consideration, and how they're making them nowadays. Am I hitting it proper? Am I using the right stick? And I don't think they're making them the right way like they used to anymore. Zildjian, their formula. I'm thinking right now it's hard for them to get product and the proper stuff to make a good cymbal due to the economy of the world and all that nonsense. But anyway, the touch. It comes back to the touch and what kind of stick you're using to get a good sound. And I've been going through my little drumstick bin and going for all the drumsticks I have to see what, what's going to work good. I always come up with 7As, always. Nylon tip or just a wood tip, just to see what the sound's going to be like. So the touch of the cymbal applies to the touch of the drums too. That's when you can tell a real pro drummer, which I'm not, obviously. I'm just a guy who likes to play drums and hit them. So that's where you usually can tell right off the bat if a drummer's good, the touch. The way they hit the drums and their execution. And, I'm just starting to get into this myself because I've been playing for 45 years and I'm just a guy that bashes drums and never took any of this into consideration. So, I'm going to start off with some drumsticks and, to see what kind of sounds I can coax out of these cymbals, playing what I consider light, but also getting more sound out of them the way they should be heard, because you can't really just pound on cymbals and expect them to sound great. You can't. That's the problem. So I'm just going to start off with a simple 7A, nylon tip drumstick, and just like move around the kit at a fairly quiet pace, just to show that this is how at least I'm getting to hear the cymbals the proper way. So here we go. This is just a starting off on the ride. So I'm playing relatively quiet, but here I'm hearing the full sound of the ride, as opposed to this. I discovered playing louder on a cymbal only makes things worse for me. So that was with a nylon tip. Here's a wood tip on the ride, and I'm going to just go around the kit with a wood tip. So I'm digging the sound on this ride and the whole kit with a wood tip. You know, like I said, this is a 7A. And the thing about this whole thing with playing a little quieter and hearing things better, probably because I'm getting old, but I also learned from playing electric drums, because you can control each instrument on the electric drum brain, that, you know, you got to hit things almost to keep them in the same sonic realm. You have to hit them at the same, you know, velocity with a stick, and it's all this stuff you got to take into consideration. Drummers do not have it easy. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much stuff we're supposed to know, and how much you should learn, because, you know, I've seen guys who are great that just don't even think about this, and they just play, and they can play anything, you know. But in order to play the drums and get the best sound out of your kit, you seriously got to find sweet spots. And, you know, that applies to tuning, especially tuning. You know, this is a big rock kit. I got a 24-inch kick, you know, and I'm struggling trying to find the proper sound on this. But once again, the touch of the beater. I'm starting to learn how to feather and, you know, not bury the beater like, you know, I like to feather it more now, like, you know, and kick back and just let the drum do the work. I have a little muffle on it. And the same with the toms, you know, I tune them low and put one moon gel on them. And, you know, gets rid of that unwanted ring.